Let me tell you the strangest story of my life. You might think it's a joke, but I swear, on every star in the Andromeda cluster, it's true. My name is Caleb Vance, 29, Earthborn, freelance translator of xenolinguistics, and as of last month, legally bound in marriage to a 6-foot bioluminescent alien woman named Zima. And it all started at the Galactic Festival of Unity. I was on Virelia Prime, a crystalline planet that practically sparkled from orbit. Think Vegas, but designed by alien architects with way too many tentacles and a love for floating platforms. The Galactic Festival was a cultural exchange that happened every 50 years, where species from across the galaxy came to share food, music, technology, and apparently wedding customs. I wasn't there for any of that, really. I was hired by a Terran-Illyrian trade delegation to help translate some complicated commercial agreements. It was dry, bureaucratic work, but they gave me a pass to the festival as part of the job perks. After 3 days of translating interstellar tax code, I needed a break. So I took my badge, stuffed it in my pocket, and went exploring. Now, here's the thing about alien festivals. You don't know when you're in line for fried food or a sacred ceremony. The lines look the same. And that's exactly what happened. I followed this procession into what I thought was some kind of performance. People were handing out drinks that shimmered like stardust. There was music. Real music, with harmonic vibrations you could feel in your bones, and suddenly I found myself face to face with Zima. Zima was Aurelian, from the oceanic world of Tiranu. Her skin shimmered like a pearl, shifting colors with emotion. Her eyes were large, emerald, and slightly luminescent. She looked at me and laughed, this low melodic sound that vibrated right through my chest. "Terran," she said, "you've stepped into the binding circle." "Binding?" Yes. She tilted her head, amused. "You're funny. I like that. What's your name?" "Caleb." "Well, Caleb," she said, taking my hand, "let's see where this current flows." We walked through a series of arches made of light. There were these weird, floating stones glowing different colors as we passed under them. I thought it was some immersive art experience. We shared a drink from a double-sided cup, repeated a few phrases a translator whispered into my ear, and then the crowd started clapping. That's when I realized something was off. An elderly being with a head like a jellyfish wearing ceremonial armor floated over and said, "By ancient law of the Aurelian tide, you are now bonded." And blinked. "Wait, bonded like?" "Married," Zima said, smiling. "You did well. Most don't pronounce the vows correctly." Cue internal screaming. The next few hours were a blur. I tried to explain it was a mistake. Zima seemed amused. Not angry. Not shocked. Just kind of interested. "It's not easy to undo a binding," she said, "especially one witnessed by a high speaker. But you're not unhappy, are you?" "No, it's just, on Earth we usually date first." She laughed again. How inefficient. I found myself spending more time with her not because I had to, but because Zima was actually incredible. She swam through zero-gravity chambers like a dancer, communicated with bioluminescent flashes I found mesmerizing, and had a sharp wit that could disarm a battle mech. Over the next few days we talked about everything. Turns out, the Aurelians see marriage as the start of compatibility, not the result of it. You bond, then learn each other deeply, growing together like interwoven coral. It was strangely poetic. Alien but poetic. I told her about Earth, about tacos and thunderstorms and traffic jams. She told me about Tiranu's twin moons, about how ocean storms were seen as blessings. We were weirdly sinking. The connection grew fast and real. Then came the real complication. About a week into our accidental marriage, A Terran diplomat named Commander Riva pulled me aside. "Caleb, you're in violation of Intercultural Protocol 49B. You can't just marry a citizen of a non-aligned world. It creates political entanglements." "I didn't mean to." "Well, that's not how it looks. The Aurelian Council is citing your marriage as a basis for increased diplomatic recognition. The Federation thinks it's a stunt. You're stuck in the middle. So now I wasn't just an accidental husband. I was a diplomatic incident." Zima took it in stride. "They always underestimate the strength of our bonds," she said. "I tried to play mediator between two species who couldn't agree on how to define the word love, much less a marriage treaty. Meanwhile, the festival was ending, and with it, the easy cover our marriage had enjoyed. There were talks of annulling the bond." Zima didn't object, but I saw the disappointment in her eyes. And that gutted me. Because somewhere along the way, I'd fallen for her. This wasn't a joke anymore. Not to me. A week later, I was on a transport ship to Earth. I had agreed to temporarily suspend the bond to allow the diplomat's breathing room. I hadn't seen Zima in 4 days. But halfway through the journey, the ship came under attack. Pirates, a rogue mercenary crew, part of the Drax Syndicate, hijacked the vessel. Turns out, one of the Terran ambassadors on board was carrying illegal tech, and I was just collateral. We were herded into a sealed compartment, under heavy guard. My translator badge had been taken, and I couldn't understand most of what the pirates were saying. I was scared, alone, and angry because I never got to say goodbye. Then the wall exploded inward. I thought we'd been hit again, but no. Through the smoke, a figure moved like lightning. Glowing, fluid, deadly. Zima. She had tracked the ship, bribed a freighter captain, and boarded mid-flight using stealth tech. She took down 3 pirates with a weapon that looked like a harpoon made of light. She grabbed my hand, pulled me close. "You didn't think I'd let you leave without a proper goodbye, did you?" We escaped through the maintenance ducts, disabled the ship's drive, and sent a distress signal to nearby patrols. The pirates were arrested. We were rescued. Zima was injured. Nothing major, but seeing her bleeding hit me like a meteor to the chest. That's when I knew. "I don't care about the politics," I said, holding her hand. "I don't care about the laws, or the council, or the Federation. I married you by accident, but I love you on purpose." Her skin shimmered rose gold, the color of deep affection. "And I would do it all again," she said. 6 months later, after a whirlwind of diplomatic negotiations, public debates, and an interspecies romance that captured half the galactic news networks, Earth and Turanu signed a preliminary cultural exchange accord. I was officially recognized as a citizen partner of Turanu and granted dual status with Earth. Zima and I settled into a new home, half-submerged, bioengineered, and somehow always smelling like fresh ocean breeze, on a lunar colony called Aravex Station. Sometimes we argue. She doesn't understand why I put hot sauce on everything. I don't understand why she sleeps in a gravity-null pod filled with floating jellyfish. But we laugh. We dance. We love. And every year during the Galactic Festival, we return to Virelia Prime and walk through the glowing arches again. Not because we have to, but because we want to. So yeah, I accidentally married an alien girl at a galactic festival. And it was the best mistake I ever made.